What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dodge. Come back to Girl Takes. Well, it's that time, guys. It's reaction time, and this is to Netflix's Wednesday. This will be for episode 3, titled Friend or Woe. Last episode I really enjoyed because we were dealing with the situation with Rowan, you know, his death. Then come to find out, he's not dead. But then to come to find out, oh no, he really is dead. And we're dealing with a little shapeshifter here in the form of the principal, played by Gwendolyn Christie. And I'm like, okay, I'm still trying to gather my thoughts, like her trying to cover up, she doesn't want to get out. Of course, you know, her telling the sheriff, oh, you know, I heard the mayor said it was a bear attack. You gotta say that to keep, you know, the media at bay. There's definitely ain't no bear attack. He's like somebody from this Nevermore. I'm still between the fact of me thinking it could possibly be either Xavier or Tyler. I don't know what it is. More so I'm leaning towards Tyler now, because he's not, like, we don't know a lot about him. I know Xavier's like, you know, stay away from whatever. That doesn't mean anything to me, but more so with not knowing a lot more of his backstory, but learning a little bit, hence that little moment he had with his dad where he's like, you know, I pay the bills, whatever, I don't know what y'all talking about. None of your damn business. It's between him and his doctor. You know, if you had a better relationship with your son, you wouldn't be in a situation you are where he'd feel more privy to talk to you. You go and work and you don't come home. Clearly something happened in that family, and definitely something stemming from whatever happened to his mother. So hopefully we'll get some backstory. He'll eventually, if he's building what it looks like to be a you know, a cool, you know, friendship with Wednesday, he might, you know, say something. She seems to kind of trust him, and she does, you know, say things to him, whatever. So that might eventually happen. I can kind of see it there. I do see how Xavier didn't particularly care when he showed up, when she was trying to leave to get to the, you know, train station. So you can see a little, you know, a little jealousy there, you know, on his part. But overall, I kind of like the friendship between her and Tyler. I will say the situation with her and Bianca, both of them very strong-willed young ladies, feel a certain way, you know, about, you know, just, you know, doing their thing, knowing everything, this and that, or just both of them. They are both so much alike in certain ways that they don't realize it, but the fact that, you know, they both are, you know, very, you know, engaged, you know, very, you know, alpha about themselves, is kind of like butting heads, and it's almost like one wants to, you know, be above the other, and it's just like, you both want to come off this high of this, I'm this way, or I'm this, I'm not better. Because when she did say, she was like, you know, I don't think I'm better than anybody, I'm just better than you. I'm like, please, girl. You think you're better than your parents, you think you're better than people, especially when she's at the school. And yes, you do. At a little bit of a point, you do. Now, in this instance with Bianca, I see her whole point of that view, but like, no, you really do think you're better than a lot of people, honey. So, needless to say, I'm hoping as time goes on, they come to some sort of understanding, whatever, but they don't got particularly like each other. There's individuals like that out here in this world, whatever, we all deal with, like, it's like, you know, cordial and keep it moving. You know, so ain't no need to be fake. So with that part said, I'm really interested with the principal, the whole situation with her, you know, shapeshifting this man and shapeshifter. Like, I should have realized when she stepped out, went somewhere, whatever, and all that, ran inside, whatever, so that the sheriff's, you know, assistant could see her, and then come up and then make, you know, literally knock, leave Wednesday speechless in that instance. I like how she found them glasses, like, yeah, you know it's a cover up, like, See, they didn't really, you know, clean up the, you know, the area from where it happened at all, really. So, but I like how in the end, with Wednesday, she helped Enid with, you know, the pop cup, and she won. I'm like, Bianca, you cheating, hun. I'm not here for that. It's like, if she was winning fair and square, then fine, like, you deserve the title, but you using, you know, your abilities, you know, using others to do that, whatever, to keep winning. I'm so glad that she didn't win this time. It's like, this is where the lesson is going to come into play for her in those instances as well. So, but I will say, moving from that, Wednesday trying to come to a head of what's going on and finding, you know, that statue, and, you know, reading some scripture and all that, and you see where it says, after she's written all together and circled the front letter, and says snap twice, and of course the signature snap. I love that. She finds the hidden, you know, doorway passage, goes down and finds the book. You can see, because of the dust from wherever Roman grid, you know, picked it up, turned around, somebody threw something over her head. So I'm curious to see who that was, if it's just a person or person. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Say the rest of my thoughts at the you guys.
Who dares breach our inner sanctum?
You can take the mask off, Bianca. And just like that, my hopes were dashed against the rocks of bitter disappointment. Last I heard, the Nightshades had been disbanded.
Yeah, the group kind of lost its charter 30 years ago after some normie kid died.
But wait, I'll save you the trouble. I'm not interested in joining.
You're seriously turning us down?
Can you believe it? It's amateurs like you who give kidnapping a bad name. Or why that monster is prowling the woods. But right now, nothing intrigues me more than this book.
Volunteer jobs at 10 a.m. sharp, followed by a community lunch at 1. A special event, the dedication of a new memorial statue in the town square, which will also include performances by Nevermore students.
My cello?
I caught your rooftop serenade the other night. Impressive. I volunteered you to accompany the Jericho High School marching band at the ceremony.
There are more pressing issues on my mind.
Yeah, like what?
Tracking down the monster that killed your former roommate.
For the last time Rowan was expelled, everyone saw him leave.
Have you spoken to him since?
He cares so much. It's not like you knew the guy.
I'm not sure why you care so little.
It's weird that you're in this. I mean, this journal is like, what, 30 years old? And what the hell is Crackstone doing in a picture with you?
You know who that is?
Yeah, it's Joseph Crackstone. He's like Jericho's founding father. Yeah, look. That's him.
Will you stop pointing fingers at Nevermore? You know how much Jericho depends on that place. Who do you think pays for our roads, our parks, even your salary? Just find the damn bear and take care of it. Entire Jericho community, we are so pleased to have you all here today. Your generosity and hard work are truly outreaches.
But Wednesday, this is not a fair trade. Why would I agree to spend the entire day at some dumpy emporium of crapola? Because Ajax is going to be volunteering there. Things sneak to peek at his assignment. But if you're not interested...
No!
I am Mistress Arlene, a real OC. Original colonist. Behold, the meeting house. Inside is a collection of artifacts related to Jericho's most beloved and pious founder, Joseph Crackstone.
I have a query.
Pray be quick, child.
In the meeting house, which of Joseph Crackstone's artifacts are on display? It is truly a treasure trove.
No, that exhibit is being renovated. Today, thou will all be working at the beating heart of Pilgrim World.
I like your diabetes in a box.
Volunteers, prick up thine ears.
I'm pretty sure it's dead. See the tire treads across its tail?
Local artists scooped that fella up right here on Route 22. Can't keep them on the shelves. Got a whole section dedicated to these beauties. Squirrels, skunks, snakes, and my personal fave, family of ferrets at a clam bake. No need to pay for that overpriced hipster swill. I'm brewing chaga. No blend. Mushroom tea.
Tentisches Pilgrimfeld als Kakaobohnen, bezogen von den unterdrückten Bewohnern des Amazonas. Alle einen nehmen dazu, dass armselige Schüchen für bereits amerikanischen Geschichte. Hat jemand Interesse?
Generous donation to my re-election campaign.
Consider it a token of our ongoing cooperation.
Hand it over.
What if Mistress Arlene catches us?
Type code. Deny everything. Secrets are like zombies. They never truly die.
What?
I think this is the girl from it. I know. Your Nevermore sister. One with the dark eyes and sour face. Where has she hithered?
You mean Wednesday Adams? Knowing her, she's hithered somewhere she shan't be.
Codex Umberum. That's Latin for Book of Shadows. Right.
What the fudge are you doing in here, Missy?
Mistress Arlene. How now?
How now, indeed.
The original meeting house. The one shown in that painting. Where is it?
How the hell should I know? I only moved here from Scottsdale in April.
Can I help you?
You know, by the way, I totally dug the way you scratched out the bottom of our boat at Poca. It's pretty badass.
Thanks.
I was just doing a solid for Xavier. I mean, he's my boy, but he's super competitive.
Seems so laid back.
Bro's got a darker side most people don't see.
So, I was thinking of sneaking behind the greenhouse tonight. It's supposed to be a blue moon. Only happens once every 23 years or something crazy.
By the way, you know that's where a lot of kids go to hook up, right?
I just spent all morning flirting and hinting and trying to act cute while bursting some roadkill just so you asked me on a freaking date.
Oh, meet up behind the greenhouse tonight.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Hey, Jess! Can you help me move the badger just to the front?
Do you know if it's still around?
What's left of it is out in Calvin Woods, but it's pretty much a ruin.
Show me.
Yeah, but like it's kind of sketchy.
Lucifer's mistress herself.
For your sins, you will die.
You have robbed us of our peaceful spirit. You are the true monster, all of you.
I will not stop till I've expunged this new world of every outcast.
There is no tiny child. Leave me. Save yourself.
Bing, I saw her. The girl from my visions. Her name is Lily Adams. Must have been the bearded man from earlier.
Let's change back to regular footprints.
I overheard you say you were checking out the old meeting house. Guess it's lucky I showed up when I did.
On my late scorpion soul, my hands are clean. This town even have an outreach day. Don't you know it's real history with outcasts? The actual story of Joseph Crackstone? Nothing has changed since Crackstone. They still hate us. Only now they sugarcoat it with platitudes and smiles. We do. You can't have it both ways.
You're exhausting.
I know.
I don't tire easily.
Oh no.
That monster could be anyone. Dangerous. They strike.
Interesting. Alright, you guys, I enjoyed this episode. A lot going on, some things that look like are being revealed. Learn a little bit more on the backstory with what that little picture signifies that Wednesday has, courtesy of Rowan. And before we get into that, you see what she, of course, from the last episode, goes down, opens up the, secret passageway with the, snap twice, comes down, and looks like when she was, grabbed, you see her, of course, face unveiled, and she sees, like, pretty much a couple people. Of course, Bianca, she knew right away, and they all of a sudden have their own little secret society. Now, granted, they discussed that with her and her dorm mom about this being some sort of society some 30-something years ago. So now I'm assuming they're trying to do something somewhat similar, but not prior to that extreme. We don't know exactly what that secret society was doing at that time fully yet. Hopefully more of that will be flushed out. Now, you can tell she doesn't particularly care for all that. She don't want to join this and other, because even though Xavier kind of threw that out there, and Bianca wasn't feeling probably happy, but she was just like, no, I'm. She has some other business she's trying to tend to. She's trying to figure out what is going on, who is this, what is that creature, what is happening. So with that being said, it kind of turns into another day where, of course, Principal Weems lets the students know they're going to be doing some sort of volunteer work in the town of Jericho with the local fair, and also with a town ceremony happening, which is going to be in honor of a memorial being done for Joseph Crackstone. Now, granted, with that, there's some backstory on that, which I love, that comes to a reveal with this one when Wednesday gets sees a picture of a painting where it shows, of course, Crackstone, but then it shows a young woman in the back, which was from her vision when she was doing, the event in the last episode. So what's interesting to me is like she's like, you see what looks like to be a part of, a meeting area from circa 1600. So she says she wants to go and enjoy Pilgrim World. So she switches with Enid, so Enid could enjoy her little fun, getting to know a little bit more Ajax, on the side from that. So in the midst of her doing that, of course, she sees the mayor's son and those other two little fools, and she helps the young boy. They want to, of course, bully. It's just like ugh, like nothing else to show for themselves. It's like, wow. But I like how the boy was like, I can't get in more trouble with that. Yeah. Interesting. So with that being said, she kind of wants to go into that one meeting room which the woman's kind of giving the tour, but she like, no, that's being renovated, so they have to do the fudge. She does her part speaking in another native, but then turns them totally off. They're just like, we don't want to try any taste testing, no nothing, it's whatever. Well, with that being said, you're kind of seeing another scene where the sheriff's talking to the mayor, and he's like, happy about this event, and then other non-shares like, well, these people from Nevermore, whatever. It's like, okay, you don't particularly care for him, but he's like, they bring in nice revenue in here. Of course, they donated to his next campaign. Sheriff takes care of his salary, so it's like, be quiet. I was like, yeah, put on a little face, whatever it is. It's like you have no choice. Granted, there is a creature out there. You're trying to figure out who it is. You think it's somebody from Nevermore. Not surprising. He has to be considering all bases in regards to what gets to be out there, and he's like, the mayor's like, find that bed. Don't believe anything. He's like, just find it so we can be done with this and he can move on. If only it was so simple. So eventually Wednesday finds a way to get somebody to watch out, be a lookout while she's checking to find, the book, whatever it looks like the might be holding, but come to find out it's just a display. It's not the real one. It got lost, I think they said like a month or so ago, whatever, and all was some sort of, ceremony. So now she has to figure out, okay, what ceremony happened, what happened to this book, what is really going on, and what that eventually is asked to kind of be removed. Now granted, prior to that, you see what the principal is saying, how she wants Wednesday to perform with the band, the thing. She's just like her little banter. So I'm really was kind of curious, her moving her cello and doing her little thing. But what's interesting is when Wednesday eventually goes to meet up in, while they're all doing their volunteer work, she ends up showing up to the little coffee shop where Tyler works. They come to find out Xavier's there, and he's of course volunteering there for a time being, until they have their break. And he's thinking she's there, talk to him, with some coffee, but of course she's there for business, and of course you can see Xavier doesn't like it. So right there, still some tension, some friction. I really want to understand, what it is Xavier really can't stand about Tyler, and Tyler just kind of brushes him off, like he's just like, whatever. So in the midst of it, she's like, I need to know about this particular, Pilgrim meeting, home, whatever. It is kind of like, I think burned down, whatever, that's from 1600 and all that. And he kind of shows her off the map, and eventually she shows up, with thing, and they kind of go through, and eventually things like use your psychability thing. I can't just touch anything; it doesn't happen like that. So eventually she does touch something, which is what is left of the entrance, and it opens up to a scene where you see the young girl being accosted, hurt, talked down to. She's considered a witch, and all of a sudden Crackstone shows up calling her a witch, saying get rid of you outcasts, you don't belong here, whatever. Come to find out he's locked up quite a few people, chained them to the floor and all that, and then proceeds to tell them to burn down the space. Now mind you, she's trying to save her mother, and others are like, we're chained, you're not going to be able to rescue us, save yourself. And eventually she leaves out, and of course Wednesday eventually wakes up, but come to find out, we found out her name is, I think, Goody Adams. She's considered an ancestor from her from her family, and that kind of opens up floodgates. I'm like, okay, that's what she's seeing, this vision of this person. And I'm curious to see what else that's going to lead to when she gets the book. She's going to learn more. All the while she's there, that creature shows up again. And And eventually she tries to run after to find it. You see, of course, the footprints, but it's kind of raining at first, but not raining too much. And eventually the footprints turn from a creature to a human. I'm going to get into that in a minute. And so all of a sudden somebody shows up, whatever, and all that. And this Xavier, he's like, I heard you were talking to Tyler. Good little cover. Trying to explain to him, this and that and other. Like, you should, I felt a little hurt. You didn't want to join the society with us and this and that and other. And it's just like, yeah, you trying to mansplain what I should be doing and talking about my visions because his father, is psychic and this and that and the other, trying to make her understand something. I'm like, I wonder if that's more of you trying to get her off the trail. She's getting a little too close to something and you're trying to, say it as nice as you can where it doesn't look like you look suspicious, whatever. Oh, I can't wait to get into what I want to say at the end. But needless to say, she eventually, works her way back, and then they have the overall ceremony where they reveal, Joseph Crackstone's, overall monument. And with that, she's, they're performing all that. They, of course, it shows Principal Weems, and of course, up there, you see the mayor, and all of a sudden, before, they unveil, and then the water fountain kind of starts, and it shows the sheriff. He's just kind of just like, we're all just here, just kind of to see, just playing along. All of a sudden, you see things set up a little, firecracker, whatever, and all that with the match. It lights up the little monument with the pond. I'm like, everybody but her, and she starts playing intensely, and I'm like, oh my God, girl, you just know you look guilty at the moment. Even though she tells Williams later, oh, my hands were clean. Like, she's like, I might not be approved, but she's like, oh no, don't play with me. And I have to, beg, because when that incident happened, all that, and, the sheriff probably knows, and of course, Williams looking at her while she's hiding far away, and she's not scared of the explosion, not near one, she didn't get her, everybody else but her. But it lets you just wonder, when she has to talk to her about now the mayor, the people of the town, whatever, and all this and everything, and you're trying to cover up, knowing the backstory of this man, which is like, I understand, I know a little bit of it, but we're passaging a new forward, with the people of Jericho, so they cannot see, Nevermore as being a certain way, but now she's kind of really ruined that. She's like, you need to have one side or the other. You can't be for both. You can tell Weems doesn't particularly care, but she's like, you can't, brush me off, because she wants her to get rid of her so bad, but it's not going to be that easy. I want to know backstory more so, because you got a little bit of taste of that during the initial meeting of Weems with the parents and her. And her saying we had, the same room together, we did a couple activities together. Excuse me. So it makes you wonder what else was happening with the, as, just a friendship when she rips that part. Excuse me, you guys, I'm sorry. When she rips out the sheet of Morticia and throws into the fire of her feelings. So I'm really curious about, maybe seeing a flashback from her point of view. You see, Morticia doesn't really say, she's like, it's going to be a beautiful, it's delightful. Yeah, that's the place I, met your dad, we fell in love. But there's other parts of her life I really want them to kind of flush out a little bit. Hopefully we'll see. We have so many more episodes to go. But the part of them showing the guy from when Ajax and Enid are together, because I want to definitely get back to my part on that, coming into the store and grabbing that camera and sneaking out. When you see him at the burned down kind of, Pilgrim, meeting house and all that, and she's able to fend him off with the thing choking him out, whatever, he eventually shows back up, and that's when the creature comes back later in the night and it kills him, the man. And you see how the camera just goes off and is getting those pictures, and I'm surprised that creature, seeing something, reflection of a flash, whatever, kind of, disorient him enough where you get angry and knock it out, but clearly did not. It was unfazed, whatever, and eventually after whatever it did to the man, just rolled. So what brings me to saying that, I already made my feelings of who I think it could be, and I'm starting to feel like I could be right, but then sometimes things can, not be what they really seem to be. Like they say, it could be anybody in that town, really. You see the doctor making certain little, clothes or scarves, whatever, for those little, animals that are stuffed. Then you see, of course, the sheriff getting the camera from his assistant who takes it so they can be developed. And you see pictures of it. But then you see scene of Tyler in the tub. And then he was kind of screaming in the water and all, letting out his anger, probably frustration with a lot of stuff, whatever. But then you see Xavier, okay, coming out of a barn. And he's locking up some stuff on him. And look like he, got some sort of cut on him. You see also the teacher, going into the passageway where this secret society was and all that. Curious why she's in there. What is she doing? But I keep going back to Xavier. I still want to think between Tyler and Xavier. But Xavier right now, I'm like, okay, did you get a fresh cut or scratch from the guy scuffling with you, trying to fend you off, whatever? I wonder, because I'm like, I'm looking at those eyes, those piercing eyes from that creature, and it keeps making me think, could it possibly be him? His eyes are very distinct. I'm just, yeah, I keep wondering. I keep wondering with that. I don't know. I just, yeah. I'm just enjoying every episode because I look forward to the reveal, and I hope I'm not too far off. But right now, he's at the top of my list of suspects for that creature. So, yes, this was a really, really good episode. I truly did enjoy this. I will say one last thing. I feel bad for Enid for waiting for Ajax, and poor Ajax. The poor towel slip. I was just like, oh no. And she's sitting there thinking he's, stir her up. And now, when we see the next episode, it'll probably be revealed where she'll find out he, what happened to him. He's no longer. But I was just excited because you could tell she liked him and he liked her. And it was just so cute. Just feel so bad for her because she really is angry with feeling like, I thought this guy liked me. I'm standing here waiting. You just don't show up and just, ooh. So, but with that said, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.